And await no longer, greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week we are talking all about the Final Fantasy XVI reviews. We sit down with the voice actor of Clive from Final Fantasy XVI, Ben Starr himself. We talk about EA making EA Sports in the game a separate entity, and a ton of viewer questions, as we usually do live each and every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on youtube.com/@PS Trophy Room, or if you're listening to it right here, right now, each and every Thursday. With all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
Nothing is going to stop me today. Today's been a great day as of recording. Tomorrow will also be a great day because Final Fantasy XVI will be here. What a day. What a Kyle ass week. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
And Kyle, I have even better news for you. Okay, are you sitting down for this one? I hope you are.
Yeah.
We are podcasting.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
So this Friday, I'm in a great mood because I beat PlayStation Direct.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
I beat him for the both of us, bud. So, if y'all have been following this thread for literally years now, ever since I bought the PS5 and Kyle's bought the PS5, we no longer can access PlayStation Direct. We don't know what's going on.
I didn't get mine through Direct. I got mine old-fashioned through GameStop. The last thing I did was the Horizon Collector's Edition. After that, it was done.
So we picked a bone at someone over at PlayStation Direct.
Yeah, at some point.
And now we can't purchase anything from them. We don't know why. We don't know who we made upset. Maybe it's Andrew House because of all of his mail that we sold.
It gets charged, then immediately refunded.
And it's so infuriating.
I don't know.
So the Spider-Man, drama of Friday happens where I try to buy it. PlayStation Direct told me they fixed my problem. They did not fix my problem.
Because this is all news to me, because I was off of social media for a few days, so I have no idea how this happened.
So I'm very inconvenienced, and I didn't want to be a Karen about it, but I kind of was just a little bit because I'm frustrated. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. It's my favorite hero. Mm-hmm. And it's just ironic because I host a PlayStation show and I get the worst customer service in the world. I just want to buy your thing. You don't let me. Mm-hmm. So, okay. I tried to buy it 13 times. Nothing. 13 different chargebacks. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So I want to shout out our good buddy Todd Oxtra, who somehow was able to get 2 pre-ordered.
Nice.
So one for himself, one for us, right?
Great. Mm-hmm.
Great news. But I was like, all right, that's obviously a glitch. It could theoretically fall through. Yeah. So I need to solidify our chances here. Mm-hmm. So I walked out over to Ainsley Bowden and I said, Ains, host of Season Gaming, the co-founder of Season Gaming, host of the Big Cast, all that stuff. I said, could you help me out? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm doing a family thing. Once I get back, if the pre-orders are still up, I'll help you out. Mm-hmm. Shout out to him. Like an old man, it took him 9 hours later, but he was able to get a pre-order of Spider-Man because he has no interest. He's not into superheroes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dude, the man's the most boring vanilla man I've ever met in my entire life. So he's the missionary position of people. And but thanks, bud. So we got another Spider-Man edition.
Sweet.
So if everything holds true, I got one for me and I got one for you, bud.
Oh, that makes my heart sing. Oh my god, that makes me so happy.
I know.
I was legitimately bummed that I was not going to be able to get it because I want every first party collector's edition.
Of course.
Oh, that makes me happy. I appreciate it. I love you. And thank you, Ains and Todd, for making that even possible. That's incredible.
So fingers crossed if everything goes right.
Yeah.
Because if there's one, I'm taking it. You know?
Oh, yeah, no, that's totally fair. Totally fair.
And I go, and Ains, before you have to then ship it back to us, could you just open it up and give me the code?
You ass.
And he's like, really? I'm like, unfortunately, so yeah. So, again, going the extra mile. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Ains, so much.
That's amazing. I love y'all.
Kyle, now here's something you told me right before the show. One of our very generous fans of the Trophy Room has a message for us.
The premium Patreon member.
That's right.
Like, forever. Always supported us. And,
that's right.
It's doing something pretty cool. And he said we didn't have to shout it out if we didn't want to. But it's so generous and nice. Like, of course we will. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Please.
Oh, you want me to? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
In a new segment that I'm calling Everybody Like That. This comes from Toxic, Discord member, Patreon member. You hear him all the time on the show. Feel free to shout this out in the show. Okay, if not. But I double dipped when it came to Final Fantasy XVI. I got the double steelbook Best Buy Deluxe Edition the collector's edition from the Square store. I have no idea when the collector's edition will be getting delivered, so I'll be playing my copy I get from Best Buy all weekend. However, once that CE arrives, I like to give the gift of giving and would love to mail out my extra copy, plus its relative codes, to someone who wants the game but may not have been able to get a copy for themselves. I like to do this free of charge because I've had my own financial troubles the last couple of years and would like to pay it forward. Only request is that I'm mailing it in the US to keep the mailing costs down. If you are US based and want a copy potentially a week late from launch, DM me your details, and once that collector's edition of mine arrives, I'll hit you up. So, caveat, just because I don't know if Toxic is on Twitter or anywhere, just become a member of our Discord, and we'll pin a message or something at the top with Toxic's username in it, so you can click on it and message him there, and we'll do it that way.
Yeah. So all you gotta be,
we love you. We appreciate you. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so all you gotta be is a Discord member, and let's just say we'll give it till the 25th. That's a Sunday, I believe, if time works in my favor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the 25th, and if you could wait, if you're patient, you can mail that out to you. Everybody wins. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Toxic. I was so generous.
So kind. That's why we love you.
All right, some more awesome news before we get into all the PlayStation news, or that lack thereof, this week, which is some housekeeping. We have some awesome new merch coming in to the store. Make sure you check it out. We have the Sony Pony Express shirt. Which is literally like one of the old Western signs.
A shout out to Mike Clancy, who did the designs. If you watch the 6-1 Indie Mini Indie Showcase, all that logo treatment and everything, that's Mike. That's Clancy. He's incredible. The new 6-1 Indie logos, the new PD head, everything. That's Mike. He's awesome. So for the Sony Pony Express shirt, Mike was like, just send me some ideas of what you're thinking about. I was like, I sent him the old Pony, the actual legit Pony Express logo, and he just turned it into the Sony Pony Express. It's great,
dude. I love it.
In addition to that, though, there's going to be another Sony Pony Express, only for Patreon members that are at that tier for getting a T-shirt. I know we've been behind. We talked about it last week. My bad.
This is how we're making it up to you.
Yeah, you'll be getting a different one that looks like a postage stamp.
Yep.
That will be yours, but it's still incredible.
Yeah.
But we love them both so much that we want to make sure we use each one because it's awesome.
These designs are legit. Like they're nuts. I love them so much. And then last but not leastly, we're here to settle the debate via capitalism.
Yeah.
Banger versus slanger.
Yep.
Which word is more appropriate and acceptable? Mm-hmm. There is a House of the Banger shirt. And a House of the... All right, relax. And a House of the Slanger shirt.
Yeah.
So you get to vote via capitalism. Which Game of Thrones styled shirt would you like?
Yeah.
It's like a house emblem, House of the Banger versus House of the Slanger. Now, spoiler alert on these designs, because again, one's Kyle's house. He has the Buster sword on it. I have the Elden Ring logo. So who's going to really win? Probably me.
There's some other nods to our favorite games in there, but we'll keep that as a surprise. If they're not up at the time you're listening to the show, we're just waiting on getting them so I can put them on a shirt and put them in the store. So they'll be up soon.
It's imminent.
Just letting y'all know. And for Patreon patrons that get that reward, keep an eye out on your emails. We'll be asking for sizes and all that jazz.
That's right. All right. And finally, it's time for our Patreon pitch. Of course, before we get into all the news and our amazing interview with Ben, I'd like to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. Of course, like we say each and every week, it's the reason why we look so good, sound so great, is because of your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. Link in the description. I want to thank our premium members, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. I want to thank our platinum members, Jay Shea, Jedi Master Ren, Cowboy Danger D, Jonas Young, The Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Millennial Falcon Gaming, Ryuko Kill 90, Stephen Flesh, Strubles and Bits, Bertos Maximus, Chris, Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, and Chris the Wizard. The cool wizard, by the way. Ice wizard? Probably.
I'm thinking fire wizard.
Oh, well,
which is odd. Well, listen, it's odd because I'm Sub-Zero, you're Scorpion, but we're picking the opposite element in this moment.
Yeah, we're both kind of hypocrites, huh?
I guess so.
Gold members, Cypher Primus, Darth Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hayden Doors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Marcus O'Neill, The Red Arrow, Aegis Hermit, Androsasaur, Astronaut Jr., The Winter Gamer, Robbie Bobby Miller himself, Brenton Zachary, Brenty Blob, Bubble Boy N7, Captain Logan, Final Fan XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, M9 Prime, Stone Cold E.T. said so, Tino 6-Speed, N. Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Spam and Bamman, and Matthew King. Thank you all so much for your generosity. And before we start the show, people ask, Joe, how do I get my voice read like one of those voices? It's just sheer luck. It's just how my brain works. It's just the way I get to remember going through the list so I don't stumble.
Once you get that cadence, it's hard to not say it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is why whenever I do it, I struggle because I'm trying to remember all the different names
and
how you say them. Yeah.
Which one has the ET voice? Yeah. All right, Kyle.
I'm pretty sure I know which one has the ET voice.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's Jesse Garcia.
It's a Tino 6-Speed. Kyle, it is time to square up the news.
First bit of news that needs to be squared up comes from Brendan Sinclair over at GamesIndustry.biz. PlayStation mobile head departs. PlayStation has lost its head of mobile as MobileGamer.biz has reported that Nicola Sebastiani has left the company to, quote, pursue a new... Oh, my God, Joe, I can't stop it.
You got this.
Out of the corner of my eye, video viewers, I see him do the Italian hands. It does help, though. Quote, pursue a new undisclosed opportunity, end quote. Sebastiani joined PlayStation as the VP and head of mobile in July of 2021. Prior to that, he had spent 7 years at Apple, where he was head of content for Apple Arcade. His duties have apparently been taken up by Oliver Cordamanch and Chris Davis, both of whom updated their LinkedIn profiles this month with the title, quote, co-head of mobile, end quote, at PlayStation Studios. Sebastiani 2021's appointment had come just months after Sony noted a renewed push to expand the PlayStation business beyond consoles. Last year, Sony said that it had, quote unquote, aggressive growth plans for mobile that could include publishing other developers' games on smartphones, making them cross-platform, or co-developing titles with mobile developers to bring PlayStation franchises to new audiences and regions.
Kyle, the first thing I just because of how my brain works, saw this news and that two heads of, mobile were coming up. What do you think the first thing in my head popped up? Two bosses. What do you think?
Oh my God. There's multiple ways for me to go with, honestly.
You want me to tell you?
It's either Mythic Quest.
Yeah.
Poppy and Ian, or The Office, Michael Scott and Charles. I forgot his last name.
No, it's Jim. Michael handles the big picture stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yes.
Jim's the day to day.
Yeah. You're right.
I want to ask you something, because listen, I know nothing, Jon Snow, of like why the former head left. It looks like for an undisclosed reason. Looks like he got poached from somewhere else. But I want to kind of gauge where you're at with this, because I think I saw Savoy Prime, friend of the show, fan of the show, hi Savoy, talk about like, why are we doing this? Like,
why are we putting so much into mobile?
Why are we putting anything into mobile?
Fair.
This is not why I love PlayStation. This is an ecosystem I care nothing for.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we seeing such the big push? Are you behind the idea of like Sony like going in all in on mobile still, or do you see this and go, yeah, why are we trying? It seems like we're outside looking in. Seems like we're struggling a little bit, getting our foot in the door. Why can't we just take that effort and put it somewhere else?
I mean, on a much, much, much smaller scale, I view this as the same way as Sony get into VR, where like it's a market that they want to be synonymous with them, even though Nintendo does mobile stuff.
Yeah.
Xbox is all about Game Pass on mobile and stuff, but not like specific games.
Sure.
I see it as a smart play, even if it might not always be for me. There could be one game here or there that I'm like, oh, that sounds cool, like a Marvel Snap or something like that, where it'll be all I play for maybe 2 months or so. I see it as an opportunity to get other people outside of the ecosystem interested in an IP, and then branch off into maybe eventually getting a console and playing those games there. I mean, look at the boost Last of Us got. I know it's a way bigger deal than a mobile game, the HBO show, but I could see a similar smaller size return in that same vein.
Yeah, I don't think it's smaller. I think like when we take a look at like the gaming marketplace, right? Mobile is number one. Like we kind of fail to
fair, yeah. I mean, Genshin Impact makes a buttload of money.
Buttload. So you're like your PlayStation, you go like, I got all these IP, all these legacy IP too. Why can't we go out there and do something with these?
Yeah, get a Sackboy mobile game going.
Exactly. I mean, they already do. It's like a Sackboy Run type of situation. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So like, it doesn't have to be necessarily in our wheelhouse for us to go and say like, well, why is Sony doing this? Well, they're obviously doing it because they see, like for example, King makes a ton of money for Activision Blizzard. One of the reasons why Microsoft wants it, so that they can hone in on it, because other companies have tried to break into mobile, and it's really hard for them. Like Nintendo is a great example. Like outside of Pokemon, Go, it hasn't been easy for them at all. I think they've even backed out a bit of mobile because of, well, now they got the Switch.
Yeah, so they had that Fire Emblem mobile game. They had that Mario Run thing.
Yeah.
I think, was there a Kirby one too, or am I making that up?
Yep, there is a Kirby one, and I think there's like Pokemon Sleep, which is just weird,
oh,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just odd.
Just use a regular alarm. Like, what are we doing?
Why do we need Pokemon watching me when I sleep? I'm just thinking of Hypno just watching me and breathing heavily. That's not something I want. Or Mr. Mime. Oof, boy, what a creep. That being said, so like, it doesn't have to interest me to say, oh, that's why they're doing it. And I don't think just because there's investment in mobile doesn't mean they're taking away from the console market. I think they're just trying to expand into it, because exactly what you said, Kyle, in full agreement. Hey, listen, if we have an Uncharted mobile game,
yeah,
like back in the day with the card game, but like they have a Uncharted game, whatever it may be, and now all of a sudden you have a new audience from the movie, you have a new audience possibly from the phones going into the consoles, and vice versa. The console market, we're very loyal to our brand, so like we'll be checking out that Uncharted phone game as we would be the movie. So like they see a lot of synergy in choosing this path, and a path here to make a boatload of money, so they're gonna definitely do it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, every brand so badly wants it to be like a lifestyle brand, like where they have their hand in everything.
yeah.
So why not have PlayStation be a part of the mobile thing? So like, you're on your phone, you're playing PlayStation. You're at the movies, you're watching a PlayStation movie. You're watching PlayStation IP on your streaming services, and then you're playing PlayStation games on your PS5 or your oh my god, Project Q, is it the
Yep.
handheld?
Yep,
Like
Q-Lite,
they
baby.
even like those what were the in-zone monitors and the headphones and stuff for PC players, like they are going all in to diversify the brand of PlayStation, and it just, to me, it's smart. It just depends on if like they're going to be putting a way too much money into it and the returns aren't great, but I'm too dumb for any of that kind of talk. So
yeah, I ain't got no bow ties or suits or whatever like that.
I don't got charts or graphs. I don't have that big pointer that you expand.
I'm not Ainsley Bowden over here with a chart guy, and a pie graph guy.
No. The only chart I know is like a fuck around, find out chart. That's the only one I know. That's the only one I know.
Fair enough. So yeah, again, it doesn't have to necessarily be for us, but if you're PlayStation and you are the most popular brand in gaming, which you are, why wouldn't you want to be everywhere? At least, in terms of the game space. Like, hey, I'm the most popular console brand by, let's be honest, a mile. Sorry if that offends anybody, but it's true. They have some of the most popular IP out there. Why wouldn't I want to, expand elsewhere? To say, hey, listen, this brand is synonymous with gaming, no matter if you're on console, on a PC, or on mobile. It just makes sense. So, though it seems like maybe they've hit like a snag in the road, I'm not. Though mobile gaming isn't for me, my hype isn't lessened, or my enthusiasm, or hope rather, for it isn't lessened.
I also think this is better that this hits that quote unquote roadblock now.
Yeah.
Instead of we get things and then we lose the head and have to start all over. Like,
exactly.
We're at the beginning stages already, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, not a huge bummer. All right, Kyle, you want to?
I don't want to.
I know.
Let me stop you right there. I don't want to.
I don't either. I want to say this. Why we talk about this subject is if something new has happened. Sure. So this will be probably, and Kyle, I want you to rejoice here, probably the second to last time we'll talk about this, because this is gonna come to a close soon.
Everyone who does not like hearing about the Activision buyout, skip ahead, I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
Time codes.
Yeah, time codes. This comes from Sammy Barker over at Push Square. Starfield Redfall exclusivity, quote unquote, powerful evidence against Xbox Activision buyout, claims FTC. We're on the cusp of peak corporate pettiness, so batten down the hatches and brace yourselves, because the Federal Trade Commission's attempt to temporarily halt Microsoft's unfathomable $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard is about to get underway. A number of high-profile witnesses have been called to comment, including PlayStation's very own Jim Ryan. And in new, mostly redacted documentation, the FTC appears poised to argue that Xbox's decision to make Bethesda titles like Starfield and Redfall exclusive is, quote, powerful evidence of incentive to foreclosure, end quote. In other words, the U.S. regulator is going to claim that the Redmond manufacturer may attempt to take Activision Blizzard games away from PlayStation as well. As it summarizes, quote, Microsoft's actions following its 2021 acquisition of ZeniMax's speak louder than defendants' words. Defendants put great stock in Microsoft's concerns about infuriating gamers if it were to foreclose rivals' access to Activision content. But those same concerns did not stop the ZeniMax decision, end quote. Of course, the elephant in the room here is that Microsoft has offered Sony and various other platform holders a contract which it promises will keep Call of Duty games on PlayStation platforms for at least the next 10 years. There is, however, still debate about what would occur beyond that decade, and also what would transpire with other Activision Blizzard properties like Crash Bandicoot and Diablo. The FTC's case is slightly different to the pending appeal against the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, as the latter has blocked the deal on the basis of cloud gaming concerns. That case is scheduled to be reviewed on July 24th, which means we've got well over a month of courtroom drama to look forward to. Yay? That was in the writing. That wasn't me.
But I usually would take the editorializing out, but like honestly, that's how
good.
I feel. Yeah.
Also, 2 weeks in a row, my voice cracked. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Well, you're becoming a man.
I guess so.
From a little baby boy, you're becoming a big old man. No. So I saw some like recent documents of like Exhibit K, like an executive at Microsoft once said that they want to like kill PlayStation or something. And
duh.
It's like
every company has that same message from somebody.
every company wants to be the most dominant force in that field. Like that's not.
You're telling me Miyamoto hasn't drawn Mario stabbing Nathan Drake?
Or like stabbing Sonic in the chest in the mid-90s? Absolutely he has. Absolutely. It's the only way to fulfill his violent urges. But, you know, to me, I see these court filings. And first off, and that's the reason why that's Exhibit K. It's like Exhibit L is just like, oh, Phil Spencer's did not invite Jim Ryan to the lunch table, though there was obvious space at the lunch table. Like, it just seems so petty on both sides. I'm sorry. Both sides.
It's awful. Yeah, everyone involved. Stop it.
So sad. But I would have to say here, Kyle, and again, this is now where the Xbox fans start loving me again. This argument's pretty weak. Like, this is exactly what, like, I understand, like, Xbox is like, look at what we did with Mo Yang. Mo Yang still makes PlayStation games. We didn't even have to sign a contract with him for PlayStation, Nintendo, and our whatever competitors. And that's not going to stop us here. And the FTC's argument and Sony's argument is, well, look at what you did with ZeniMax, right? Starfield isn't going to be a PlayStation on PlayStation anytime soon. Same with Elder Scrolls. Same with Fallout. Seems like you're cherry picking. Right?
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, yeah, a company bought another company so that it can make their products exclusive to that company. Like, okay.
Duh.
I know. Like, I feel like there was stronger arguments here to be made than this. And at this point, like, I've been hearing like some Xbox fans after the recent news still cast doubt over this deal. But if this is the FTC's main argument, I kind of think it's pretty flimsy. I don't know. What say you?
I mean, I agree. I think all of this is just he said, she said, and you know, Phil stole my pencil. He won't give it back.
Yeah, Jim's kind of looking like... He gave it
back, and it's duller than it was when I gave it to him. How dare he?
He's looking at like the kid like going like, I don't care you broke your elbow. You know?
One of my absolute favorite things ever. Yeah, it's just billionaire, trillionaire companies just like arguing over stupid stuff. Just let it go. Sign the deal.
Sign the deal, be done with it. That's kind of how I feel, though. Again, I think there's still much more doubt because of the CMA than anything.
Sure.
I think that roadblock is pretty significant. And if they are to push through on the deal, even without the CMA, I think that's where things become interesting again. Because how's the landscape going to look like in the UK because of everything? Because I think we always expected the FTC arguments to be weak, and it looks like they really are. Let's be real. And we expected the EU and the CMA to push this through, but now that one of the main links is kind of being stubborn and budging in its place, I think that's the biggest roadblock, and how you deal with it is going to be really interesting. But that's it. Stop being petty.
Yep.
And a big point in case as to why you shouldn't argue for big corporations in favor and for like thinking that they're our best friends or something actually goes with the next story on the list. Kyle, take it away.
Sure. Also, what do we call? Oh, the Achievement Hall segment. Andy Robinson over at VGC writes, Microsoft is raising Xbox Series X and Game Pass prices. The price of the console will rise in August in most countries, excluding the US, Japan, Chile, Brazil, and Colombia, while Game Pass prices will increase in July in most markets, excluding Norway, Chile, Denmark, Switzerland, and Saudi Arabia. Quote, we've held on our prices for consoles for many years and have adjusted the prices to reflect the competitive conditions in each market, Carrie Perez, Microsoft's head of gaming communications, said in a statement to VGC. As reported by The Verge, starting on August 1st, Xbox Series X will cost $479.99. I always forget, pounds?
Pounds.
Is that the pound symbol?
Mm-hmm.
In the UK, $549.99 across most European markets, and $649.99 in Canada, and $799.99. $799.99. It's $800 in Australian, whatever. Yeah. Microsoft's new Xbox Series X pricing will match PS5s in the UK, Europe, Canada, and Australia. Xbox maker also increased the price of its first-party games from $60 to $70 this year, starting with May's Redfall. Xbox Series S pricing will not be changing in any markets. PC Game Pass pricing will not be changing. The decision to increase console pricing follows a similar move by Sony last August, when it raised the PS5 price up to 12.5% in numerous countries.
I want to ask you a question here, Kyle. Of course, they raised the price just in time for Starfield in September.
Yep.
I want to know if this makes... If this impact, and it's not because this is a PlayStation show, I'm just trying to ask this as just a what if to make things a little interesting. Mm-hmm. What has the bigger impact, Kyle? The Xbox showcase being amazing, and I think critically the best show out there, or this price increase? What do you think has more influence on the market itself?
Oh, in my eyes, I think this price increase.
Yeah, why not? Why do you say that?
Just because they just showed off all the really cool things that you can't get, and the main selling point of that showcase, almost every single trailer ended with on Game Pass day one.
Right.
And if you're raising the price of Game Pass to access this thing, that is going to affect more of the public than seeing these cool things.
Yeah.
Am I making sense or am I not making sense?
No, I think you're making good sense. And also just to clarify too, Game Pass subscription for console moved up from $9.99 to $10.99, so it's a $1 increase.
It's $1, yeah.
It is to note, PC Game Pass hasn't increased in price.
Sure.
Interesting to note there.
Yeah. I think the console itself being increased, I don't think Xbox really cares about consoles at this point.
Really? Do you think that for realsies?
Yeah, a little bit. Like,
right.
Yeah, they made a big deal at the showcase that they're going to be more readily available everywhere, which is great.
Yeah, well, they're going to be more readily available because they cost more now.
Well, sure. I mean, for me, who'd rather play on a console than anywhere else, I love an actual hardware console thing.
Yeah.
But when you're touting Game Pass is everywhere, and you can play it on the cloud and everything, console, in my eyes, for a while now, it's just been like second billing for a lot of this.
So I think the console market is important because, again, that's where the hardcore of your audience is, right? Because it's literally your ecosystem. Like, I think we talked about it a week or two ago where, like, when we're arguing about the console war, like, jargon and BS, remember, we're only arguing about like 6 to 8 games a year.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, right? Like, Xbox plans to make 4 games, PlayStation plans to make about 2 games a year. You know what I mean? Or put out 2 games a year. So, like, it's semantics. But that's where your most hardcore player's going to be. And so I think they're going to take that hit because they can't...
That's fair.
Theoretically go anywhere else, right?
That's fair.
And if they like your experience and like your controller that much, then you're gonna probably stay there. And again, it's $1; it's not the worst thing in the world. As for if you're a PC person, which is something to note here, PC people are not loyal to jack shit. If you're not, NVIDIA or AMD, they don't care. Or Intel and AMD.
In fact, they look down.
Exactly. So that's why, like, you see PC prices kind of remain at the 60-ish mark, or them try to play around with the pricing of games, because they know PC players will wait. PC players will, pirate, right? Like PC players will find a way. So they're not the loyal ones. Those are the ones you gotta have to kind of be fearful of. So I can understand why the Game Pass hasn't gone up there.
Sure.
I just think of like, not to say like console isn't console's a focus to Xbox, but I think for Microsoft it really is the holy trinity of it's about cloud, PC, and Xbox, and their main focus is Game Pass. That's what I kind of think it is. So like, I see a lot of Xbox folks even echo that sentiment of like, dude, why do you treat us like we're the second class citizens, right? Like why isn't there enough parity even in Game Pass itself between PC and Xbox games? So I sense the frustration there. But the reason why we pointed out here on the show, a PlayStation podcast, isn't to belittle, Xbox in the slightest. It's just to keep things fair, because we were very outspoken, still think it's dumb that PlayStation raised the price of PS5s. And we saw the internet crucify them. And again, think it's dumb. And I think it's also dumb for Microsoft to do it. I don't think it's. Yep. I don't think you can say you're for the players when you do that to your players.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to the news earlier. Like right now, one of the first signs of inflation actually starting to go down, at least here in the States. So like seeing this news is like it kind of picked the worst time to air it. But I'm kind of with you, Kyle. I actually think this does a bit more damage to, or not damage, sorry. This makes a bit more of an impact to Xbox than the showcase, because you just made access to the gated community a bit more expensive. Though I don't think, while saying that, it's the end of the world.
No, like you said, it's a $1 increase. I mean, any increase is an increase, but it's very much like that showcase was. They gave us dessert first, and now we have the fish sticks to eat for dinner.
Oh no!
It's just good news, great sugary goodness, and now here's you're not your favorite thing ever in the world.
Oh, processed fish.
That was my least favorite moment when I was young. My parents forcing me to eat fish sticks for dinner. And I remember yelling and screaming at the dining room table because I hated it so much.
I would too.
I was there for like an hour and a half just yelling and refusing to eat it, and they would not let me get up till I ate it.
That's why I love my parents for not being big fish people, because I would never in my life.
We're not big fish people. I don't know what was going on that day, but
hey, let's go with our eldest son.
Exactly, right? It's ridiculous.
I love it. All right, Kyle. It's time to get into a little bit of Flash news. Gotta run fast. We gotta talk to Ben in a minute. Oh, goodness, oh gracious. Kyle, Flash news right here. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? EA is separating sports titles from other games in a major restructuring. This comes from Zermina Khan over at PS Lifestyle. In a major restructuring exercise, publishing giant Electronics Arts is splitting EA Sports from other games, creating two separate divisions along the way. While EA Sports will retain its title and focus on sports and games going forward, its second division will now be branded EA Entertainment and will be focused on, quote, extraordinarily owned IP. That's a word. In a press release, EA said its new division will be led by veteran executive Laura Mealy and Respawn Entertainment's Vince Zampella. The studios under EA Entertainment will be responsible for existing franchises that include Battlefield, Apex Legends, and Star Wars. Additionally, they will work on innovative and new experiences and collaborations. EA's racing portfolio will be under EA Sports, along with the company's juggernaut European and American football franchises. According to the company, splitting EA in two will, quote, empower our studios with more creative ownership and financial accountability to make faster and more insightful decisions around development and go-to-market strategies, unquote. Following the troubles, EA has been on somewhat of a redemption arc as of late, with games like Dead Space Remake, Wild Hearts, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and its upcoming game, Immortals of Avium, has also piqued gaming community's interest. Kyle, I gotta say, I hit it out of the park. With someone with dyslexia, let me tell you something. I normal brained it for a sec.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
I was like a beautiful mind, you know.
I was just caught up on the phrase in a major restructuring exercise.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of EA playing dodgeball in a high school gym and picking teams. And Madden's over there, FIFA's over there. We got Mass Effect and Battlefield, all that crap on the other team.
Yeah, no, my brain went somewhere more dark, like military drills, like just devs marching in the street, you know.
Yeah.
With like instead of rifles, it's like keyboards and mice. Kyle, I want to know, what are your thoughts on EA right now as a publisher? Because I do believe in, like what Zarmina is saying. I think they're on a redemption arc. I've been viewing EA way more favorably.
Yeah, for sure. I think all of their single player stuff has hit extremely well.
Yeah.
What I want from this, though, and splitting EA Sports into its own thing, is them saying, giving those studio leaders more creative ownership.
Yeah.
And really put in the changes. Like, I'm specifically thinking about Madden. I used to love Madden.
That's right.
But, like, it is very much unchanged from year in and year out. And they need to do something major.
Yeah.
To really put a whole new life into it. And I hope this does that. I also hope that eventually we'll get back some of the EA big stuff. Like SSX and Freakstyle and NBA Street and like fun arcadey sports things that I feel is missing a whole lot.
Yeah, I do. This is one of the restructuring things that I actually I like a lot.
Sense. Yeah.
It really does. It's like, yeah, EA Sports really does feel like its own thing, and now you could grow EA Entertainment into what it kind of should be. So you have this more, let's be honest, creative focus here on their entertainment like wing, making something like an Apex Legends maybe into a TV show or movie, whatever the case may be, making new IP like the EA indie initiative, right? We see with like Immortals of Avium, things like that.
And
even,
oh my god, Joseph
even
Fares.
Hazelight. Yeah. Hazelight. Yeah, so like, to me, that's awesome. And then you have the sports stuff where you now have someone heading that division up, and now you can kind of hone in the focus on that engine to make it run Madden, FIFA, F1, all the stuff that you own better, and there's just more focus. So all around, great news.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, it's time to get into the Nintendo Nook, a Nintendo show inside a PlayStation podcast. Of course, like we do our own little intro here. Miyamoto's a genius. Miyamoto quote here, rest in peace Iwata, and we love our cardboard VR. And if you dare say anything negative about Nintendo, we won't have to come for you. Nintendo will. All right, you're gonna get a knock from Mr. Bowser, and you're gonna wish it was Jack Black. You're gonna wish. They will up.
You heard that story with that dude that has to pay every single cent that he ever makes his entire life?
My brother started he got like a Game Boy. He's like, oh, I can't, like old fashioned. He's like, I got mod it, gotta put some stuff in it.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I literally just said, and when Mr. Nintendo, please. When he says mod it, he just means to put a bigger screen in it. That's all he's saying. Put the gun down.
After years of Jose really honing in on, you can pinpoint Joe's location right now if you listen to every single show.
Just by the way,
talks about it all the
time.
time. Exactly.
Yeah.
The drag
if you ever
outside.
wanted to assassinate me, you see Doug Bowser's with a sniper. He's just fixing the scope right now. He's got a toothpick. He's like,
I'm sorry, you're modding a Game Boy? Oh my god.
What's that?
Hold on.
Modding a Game Boy? Mother Mary full of grace, the Lord is with me. He's going to take me out. Hey, the Nintendo Direct happened.
Pretty good.
Pretty good stuff, huh?
Pretty good. I've never played Mario RPG, but I know it's super influential and beloved by a lot of people. We got a new Mario platformer.
Yeah.
Which looks cool. Visually, I'm still on the fence about. If I'm
Someone
totally
definitely
honest.
took acid a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It reminds me of it looks like an old school like Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
Kind of like Rayman aesthetics.
It looks kind of like, it kind of looks like clay-ish, you know?
Yeah.
I like it. Pastel-y.
I'm a big fan of Elephant Mario, though. A big fan of that. That's great.
Big fan of Elephant Mario.
And also, I got my Star Ocean 2 remake, baby!
That's right, Kyle. I thought of you, bud.
You texted me immediately, and that made my heart full because you're thinking about me. Man, I've only been talking about this game for years, and this being the only Star Ocean that we can't play currently on current gen. Every single other entry you can play. This is arguably, not even arguably, it is the best Star Ocean game ever made. And the characters mean a whole lot. The little changes of like the party members that aren't in battle will be able to do follow-up attacks, and it looks like they're stagger. The HD 2D visuals are incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. And November, so like I don't gotta wait too much longer.
That's
a perfect. It's a perfect I'm gonna when we take a break around Christmas time, end of the year time. That's this game. That is what I'm gonna be playing. Oh my god, I'm so happy. It was great.
And can I be honest with you, Kyle?
Yeah.
It kind of looked like Octopath, and I'm like, and I'm in. Say no more. I am actually like seeing that and seeing like the chaining the combos up. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be playing this too. I probably on the Switch.
My boy Ashton, the dude with the two dragons coming out of him that talk to him is like the good and evil kind of thing.
And who's the girl? Rena?
Rena. Yeah. Rena. So you can pick between Claude or Rena as your main character. They're still in the same party. Yeah. Respectfully to a lot of those characters.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, Kyle. Listen, the Nintendo Nook, that's over. Please, Nintendo, don't hurt me. Now it's time for Final Fantasy.
No, never mind. 16. I had a joke about your brother that I wasn't going to say.
If he just disappears via an aquatic sub-incident, I know who did it.
If you want to find Joe's brother, go to Costco. He'll be there.
He's going to be there. No, Kyle. He's there right now.
Is he really? I don't know if that was a bit on the main show or a post show.
Post show, yeah.
But apparently Joe's brother is a celebrity at Costco.
That's right. People know him by name. All right, Kyle. It's time for our Final Fantasy XVI review roundup. Spoiler alert, it's real good. Want me to read the first one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Push Square rates it a 90. At its best, Final Fantasy XVI is a jaw-dropping epic of rarely seen proportions. It's pretty much the pinnacle of cinematic spectacle in modern games, and its often gripping, emotional story is only matched by its fantastic combat system. While its overall quality does dip outside the main plot, this is still a must-play action RPG, and the best single-player Final Fantasy in over a decade by Robert Ramsey.
Ooh-wee. RPG site gave it an 80. Not everything comes together in an ideal way, but this is a journey I won't soon forget. Final Fantasy XVI was able to excel in many of the most important aspects of what video games mean to me. And because of that, I found it hard not to love in spite of its shortcomings and foibles. Cullen Black. Cullen, you taught me a new word. I don't know what foibles is, but appreciate you.
Hopefully it's not bad.
Let me look it up.
Eurogamer gave it a 60. This is one of the only mixed reviews out there. A smart combat system straining under the weight of a characterful but ponderous oh, come on now. You're just using words. Medieval soap opera with some of the grandest bosses and the dullest side quests in Final Fantasy Final Fantasy history from Edward Evans Thirlwell.
By the way, foible is a weakness in character. That's what that means.
There you go. Don't you ever give me all those big words at once, right? I ain't as smart as that combat system. So
there's some alliteration there that was a little too heavy.
Yeah, all right. I was good 5 minutes ago. Now you reactivated my ADHD. Now I'm self-aware.
Man, this has me hyped. I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
I made the conscious decision because I didn't play the demo when it came out. I was like, you know what? We're a week away. I'm not going to play it at all.
Fair.
I just want to wait till the main game, and so I haven't even played it. I watched the demo, and because the person we're about to talk to was on a bunch of our favorite. What? Yeah, he played a part in it, but he also did the rounds and played the demo with some of my favorite video game outlets. So I got to watch him do like director's commentary as they played the demo, and it was delightful. Yeah. So I've got a good taste of what this game is, and I just can't wait to get a mainline Final Fantasy again. This is exciting. This is the most excited for a game I've been. Most excited I've been for a game for a long time. I can't remember. Yeah.
I love to hear it. For me, I said this on socials, I'll say here, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. Like, again, Remake was my first one that I beat. Mm-hmm. I always try to get into them. I couldn't. After that demo, man, I'm so sold. I am. It's the only thing that's going to get me to put down Diablo 4. I'm going to be real. Mm-hmm. So I'm so excited to go over to Best Buy and get my Steelbook. Yeah. Then purchase it again on digital because I'm just dumb. I'm just not smart.
You need that detachable disk drive.
I do. I really do. Really bad. I don't know. But hey, listen, my brother might get assassinated by Doug Bowser. I can use his PS5. So you win some, you lose some, I guess. Yeah. I'm going to take that one as a win. That said, though, Kyle, let's await no longer. Let's get into our interview with Ben Starr. And with us, the star of Final Fantasy XVI, the main protagonist, Clive Rosefield, Mr. Ben Starr. How are you, sir?
I'm very, very well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic because I nailed that intro for the first time ever. All the voice actors that we've introduced, none of them have gone swimmingly when I introduce them. I always have to reset. I always got to restart. This one, I'm feeling fine.
It was so smooth. It was buttery smooth. I was sitting there going, "This is music to my ears."
I know.
Don't let it stop.
Well, Ben, listen, you're having a great day because as of recording, the Final Fantasy XVI previews are out. Yeah. Everybody's glowing about this game. So first and foremost, how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I've actually made a pledge, though.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not going to watch every single one like I've done up to this point. I'm just like, I'm kind of going to chill out now. People like the game. It's okay. I think I've been having this fear of how people are going to react to it because when you put so much time into it, you're thinking, God, I don't want this to go badly. But now I'm going, oh, people like it. I don't have to kind of meticulously go back and watch everyone's reactions to stuff all the time.
I could imagine it's like being a younger kid around Christmas time, wanting to snoop around for presents, but like, you know, you're getting something.
Yeah.
But you kind of got to hold yourself back. Yeah.
I mean, that actually happened on a couple of Christmases. When I got both my PlayStation 1 and my PlayStation 2, I found it in my dad's cupboard beforehand.
Okay.
I know.
How long before Christmas, though? Like how long was that wait?
2 weeks, but for a kid, that is a long time.
It's an eternity. Yeah.
And I wanted a PlayStation for so long. Like I had entered every TV competition up to that point to win a PlayStation.
Now, did your head like did it click with you? You're like, Santa Claus, this might not be a thing, you know? Or you're just like,
well, so my parents were really strategic with that. We would have the Father Christmas aspect of it, and then there would be the parents' gifts. So in the morning we'd have the Father Christmas stuff. So he would always have come, and then we had the presents under the tree. So there was that sweet combo. So I was living that illusion well into my teens. 18-year-old Ben can't wait for Father Christmas to come. Yeah,
man, 31-year-old Joseph, I'm still waiting. I can't wait.
Yeah, Joe still loses baby teeth and puts under his pillow.
I do.
He's still doing that.
I got 57 of them. Still falling out.
And that's why you're a rich man.
Yeah. Well, Ben, I do want to start. I want to know a little bit more about you. Like, where are you from? What do you like to do? Why'd you get into acting?
I'm 5'10".
Sweet. Do you like long walks on the beach as well?
I actually do like long walks, but I don't like the sand underneath my feet.
Oh, same.
I have to.
It's coarse.
It's just a bit. It's just, you know, when people have like their fingers down the chalkboard, sort of that for me. Sand in between my feet, like dry sand, is a really bad thing. So I always have to walk on the wet.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's enough about me. That's my career. um, yeah. So in all seriousness, I'm an actor. My name's Ben. I've been acting professionally for probably about 10 years, mainly doing kind of film and TV stuff. And then fatefully, nearly 4 years ago, I got this part in Final Fantasy XVI, which I wasn't able to talk about for so many years.
Yeah. You said 4 years, so like,
yeah.
how long was that process before you got the call as being not just a character in one of the biggest franchises of all time, but the main character in
Yeah.
the mainline entry?
I did an audition for a game that I still didn't know when I did it. I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They'd codenamed everything. Everything had been changed. I think Dominance they'd changed to Demonites, and Clive was called Clint.
Okay.
So yeah, and obviously there was no talk of Final Fantasy 16 up to this point, so no one even knew this was being made. And because all the hype was around remake at that point, so my eyes were like on looking forward to playing remake, and then this kind of came along, and it was mad. And I did this audition, didn't know what it was for. Then about a week later, I got a call saying, "Congratulations, you're in a game. You're in a game." And then it wasn't until they sent me the script and the character bio that I realized what it was. And we were at a point, I couldn't tell anyone because I'd signed, the tightest NDA in the world. And so I just walked around my flat screaming into various cushioned items. I just did. I just was like, because this was my dream. Yeah. This was my dream. Like, I love video games. Mm-hmm. Just with they're not just my hobby, they're my passion. Mm. And as an actor, I have never really, it's not really a thing I've kind of shared with people. I have amazing friends, but not many of them are massive, massive, massive gamers. I've always used YouTube to watch Final Fantasy content, or like use YouTube to watch various podcasts, and all my podcasts are video game podcasts. I don't really listen to audiobooks anymore. I just listen to people talking about things that they like. So the fact that there was this collision of worlds in this most serendipitous way was very hard to compute. And because I couldn't talk about it for a long time, it also didn't seem real.
Yeah. When was that moment where it felt real to you? Was it when you put on the mocap suit and you went, "Oh, this is uncomfortable"?
It was never real. It still isn't real now. Even when I'm sitting talking to Yoshi P, it isn't real. And I don't know. Even when I play it, it probably won't be real. I will still dissociate from it. And I'm finding it quite difficult. Honestly, I'm finding it quite difficult to kind of switch for people giving me praise about something, because it's been such a personal journey for me this entire time. It's been something that I have shared with a very few people who've been allowed to talk about it. And now people are going, "This is really good." I kind of don't believe them. You're just saying that to be nice to me. But please be more nice.
Okay, excellent. And listen, I'm about to, because all the praise has been glowing so far. I want to know how you're feeling about the reception and it being so close to you. How do you say it doesn't feel real? To me as a creator, I feel that sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you're so funny on this episode." I'm like, "What did I say?" I don't know. It's all a fever dream. And, as a creator, you're always looking towards, the reviews of a show or the comment section. How does it impact you when someone's like, "I don't like Clive. I think he's kind of lame,"
That's fine. You don't have to like Clive. Yeah, because I'm a bit of a sadist in that way. I like it when people don't like stuff, because everyone's opinion is valid. I don't like stuff, and it doesn't mean that it's empirically bad. It just means you don't like it. You don't. It's not a thing that you enjoy. And that's been a really freeing thing. I know a lot of people aren't going to like Final Fantasy XVI. That's totally fine. You're not going to like Clive. And that doesn't affect me personally, you know. Lots of people are being like personally mean, being like, "You're just really gross. You have a weird voice." I'll be like, "That's mean. You didn't need to say that."
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. That's totally fine. And I'm prepping myself for it because, you know, that's just the world that we live in. We're working in video games. Come on.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna yell at you for something.
Also,
it's so easy.
We also like, you know, everyone. We exist in a world where there are multiple platforms that require you to have an opinion. Like people can have professional opinions. So, you know, that's the world we live in. But I used to watch videos about Final Fantasy VIII, which is like my favorite Final Fantasy. I used to watch.
Thank you.
Oh, look at you! You just made Kyle's whole day.
There's too many people that like to talk bad about Final Fantasy VIII. It is legitimately one of, if not my favorite. I love the junction system. I love the characters. Zell is my boy. Like there's so much about that world that I love. So like, I love hearing that you also loved it.
But just because someone else doesn't like it, I used to watch these videos where people would just say how awful it was, but I'd watch the whole video because I just love revisiting a world that I love. And go on, dislike it if you want. It's totally fine. And so that's how I'm kind of steeling myself for the criticism. But ultimately, I'll probably just fall into a ball and cry when people hate me in this game. In all honesty, that's what it'll be. I'm saying this now like I don't care, but you know, I'll be an awful mess.
I feel like that's becoming me as like time rolls on. It's like, well, that's just I'm becoming the dude. I'm like, that's just your opinion, man. You know, I think like 20-year-old me would take that really personally, where now it's just like, okay, well, it is what it is. And I know this is a Kyle question that I'm gonna steal from you, Kyle. I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
But you know, when Kyle told me you were coming on, one of the things is like you're like, I want to talk PlayStation. I want to talk games. So you know, the nice little softball one here is, when did you fall in love with Final Fantasy? What was it?
Final Fantasy VIII was the first one I fell in love with. That was the first one I played. I played it on PS1. And that's where it started. And that was actually Final Fantasy VIII is the game that made me love video games. You know, everyone always has that one, right? It's the one. It's the one that I went, right, this is what video games are capable of. And, you know, then afterwards I'm able to play the incredible kind of like roster that happens as a result of all of this, you know. I got to play the amazing PS1 games, and Metal Gear Solid, you know, like we go on, and then PS2, PS3, PS4. I've just that's been my bag. I'm stuck in the trophy system now, unfortunately.
Oh, you fell into the best system to be a part of. The trophy
I love
system.
it. I am addicted. I mean, I think I've told you guys I'm not like as good as you are at getting trophies, but I do like to complete a trophy list if I can. Yeah. And I think all bar about 2 games on my PlayStation 5 I have the platinums for. Like I'm a big fan of completing it. I'm currently doing the Resi 4 platinum. I'm doing that.
Joe's also going for it.
I'm attempting, but it's difficult because for you, Ben, and I know the audience members are like, oh, get it, Joe, we get it. I only platinum games if I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
So like Resident Evil 4, I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
But man, it's difficult. It's a lot of beating that game.
They've, you know, that's just the way that Resident Evil games are. Like I never used to want to platinum Resi games, but then I did 3, the 3 remake. I got the platinum one, and then I did Village as well. And I quite enjoyed I'm not a big replayer of games after I've played them. I like to one playthrough, do all the things, and then put it aside.
Yep.
But the way Resident Evil becomes an arcade after you play it, like I spent 30 hours on my first playthrough. I was like, it's the sacred run, right? It's the one where you do it first, you do everything. I'm gonna get all those clockwork castellans. I'm gonna do it all.
You read all the lore and stuff. You get everything.
Yeah. I'd be the worst streamer. I'm the kind of guy that just like runs into every corner just like this, like just trying to get everything. I take absolutely ages, but now I think I'm doing my hardcore S+ run. That's what I'm going for. And then this is very boring, but I'll tell you.
This is interesting. I'm all in.
My plan is to go hardcore S plus run, and then I'm going to do the professional S plus run, and then I'm going to go back and do the final run, which will be my kind of like no healing gun, knife one. Because I feel like to do that, you've got to get the cat ears, which gives you infinite ammo. It's all just.
I get it, Ben. You're in it. I love this.
I'm in it.
What is your proudest platinum that you own? Like what one that you're looking at? Like,
I have two.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have two that I'm super proud. I mean, you can tell I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Number one is The Witness.
Yes.
Because
I gave up on that one. It's too hard.
Because The Witness is pretty much easy to get like 90% on, right? You get it. It's like story progress. You get all of them apart from one, which is a procedurally generated, timed.
That's where I stopped.
Puzzle.
Yeah.
To all the puzzles, and it procedurally generates it, and it does it to Hall of the Mountain King, and it gets quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And I think it takes like 8 minutes. And you don't have a timer; you just have the music. And it's procedurally generated. And my housemate at the time can attest. Like The Witness turned me into Howard Hughes. I was there. I had like paper. I was just hearing noises everywhere.
You're humming it while you're walking through the halls. Yeah.
I invited him into my room at one point, and I went, "What are you hearing?" And he was like, "I don't hear anything. You've gone mad." So there's that, and then a platinum I got on lockdown. In lockdown, it was the first lockdown. It was the time when it was like, remake came out, and we had Resident Evil 3. I got my Persona 5 Royal Platinum, and then after that, I was like, I want to do something that isn't a story game, and I made the mistake of deciding that it looked quite easy to get the Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big mistake.
Those Oxide times. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it, and I just, it wasn't a pleasure by the end of it. I think I was just happy that it was over. But I look at that and I go, I did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my two.
That's excellent.
That's how I feel with a 7 remake, playing through on hard, and then doing like those extra Shinra simulator where you have to go through all the summons in one go, and I was ripping hair out trying to do that.
I just went back and played Intergrade for the first time, maybe last
I did
year.
recently too.
And I was like, I need to get all the trophies, obviously.
Yeah.
And that Weiss fight is
just
it just proves how good Tifa is in that game to play. Like you can only beat him with Tifa, to be honest, with Tifa. And it's I loved it. I mean, I hated it, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Ben, I got a question. It's a personal question because we're on trophies. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. If you feel like you're, you got a little like secondhand trophy embarrassment. How many platinums do you have?
I don't have that many. I think I've got 68.
Sweet.
Listen, you got more than me. Look at you. You should be the host of the trophy room.
I feel like I should be.
Yeah.
Joseph, you are surplus to requirements.
I'm sorry. Dang. Yeah, no, I think 57. Kyle, how many do you have? Real ones do you have?
Okay, so he likes to say real ones because I'm not afraid of getting cheap plats just for I like the adrenaline rush, the high score.
That's a feel the thrill.
So I'm currently at like 318 platinums, but I still have a ton of hard ones in there.
Sure.
So it's a good mix.
How many would you say are ones that you're really proud of that 300?
Oh, I would say probably a good 50 or 60.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nothing to be ashamed of your 300 platinums. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely not. Like I went through and did Last of Us remastered and Ungrounded and stuff. Like I did all that.
Well done, nice work.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, since I have the Sekiro platinum, I'm good. Like, oh, you only have 57? I got Sekiro.
That's a good platinum trophy. I do not have. I've got the Elden Ring platinum, but I don't have any other. I was playing Bloodborne before I decided I was interested in trophies, so I didn't do the Chalice dungeons at Bloodborne. So that was my only mistake. But
if you need help, we're here.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Any excuse that I can get back into Bloodborne, I'm
Yeah.
there. So listen, Ben, here's a question. Get back on track here.
Yeah, sorry.
This is great. That was a great tangent. I got a question for you. How different is the prep work that you do for, let's just say, a show or a movie to a video game? And how different are you from when you started acting, 10 plus years ago?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have been able to do this role 10 years ago. That's just the truth. Because of the stuff that Clive goes through in the game, I just, 24-year-old Ben, it just wouldn't have mattered. And so, yeah, emotionally, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And that probably just sounds really, actory, artsy. But when you have to dedicate a huge amount of time to making something sound convincing when it's not real, you kind of do have to believe it a little bit. You do have to understand what these emotions are that these characters going through. And, we see Clive through 3 periods of his life. And those are periods of life that I have now experienced. And in the making of this game, I experienced some similar things that, this idea of loss, like it happened to me. And so it's that really is that. But yeah, acting wise, the disciplines are so different. I'm so much more aware of vocal strength. Like when I'm in a TV show or something, you kind of don't need to worry so much about your voice because you can do so many other things. But I was so worried about losing my voice whenever I went in and I was a little bit under the weather. I was so concerned because every time I'd go into the studio, you want it to be the best possible version that you can do. And that's very hard to have that same health over an extended period of time. You want that quality to be there. And there were days where I'd come out and thought I'd done a really bad job. I hadn't, but that was the pressure that I was putting on myself because it wasn't up to what I wanted.
And how do you relieve that pressure? How do you relieve that valve?
You just go back in the next day and do a significantly better job. And then you listen to it back and it's great. I think you do a bad job. But I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by brilliant people who would never have settled for anything other than excellent. And the team who I've worked with this entire time are not just colleagues now, they're my best friends. And I on release day, I will be going round to their house and drinking some Japanese chuhais, which are like 9%. Celebrate. I don't know if you've had them. I had them, like Koji brought some from Japan, and they were just. These are grapefruit flavored wonders in a can, and they don't taste like alcohol, and they are delightful. And we'll be raised.
That's very dangerous.
Very dangerous. They're lovely. But I will be, be drinking with them because it's a collective journey.
Yeah.
I just lost the question.
You got this, Kyle.
God, this interview's going so badly for you both.
I
know. 4 years ago, you found out you got it. It is. What was the time frame of like when you would go into the booth? Were there big gaps, and was it hard to get back into like the persona of Clive after a period of time?
Like after what would always happen towards the beginning anyway would be we would always have like a voice check. We always have a voice check kind of going, you listen back to it and you go, right, this is what we did in the last session. This is where we were at. But the story is so long, it covers so much, a huge part of his life that I kind of knew where I was. It would be more like, where are we in the story? Where are we in Clive's story? What's happened to him at this point? And then that would affect maybe the vocal quality. But even, he became, he was really a part of me. Like my friends would kind of comment on, Ben, what's up with your voice? Or like I would start to just speak like him, just to practice, because it's this guy is a broken man. But it was also fun to explore, and I really want to emphasize this, kind of the fun side. Like it isn't just a game that is about people being sad all the time. There is so much levity in this game, because otherwise it would just be incredibly boring to have one tone the entire time. But it was always fun to explore that side of Clive.
I just I found out today because I saw on the Japanese voice acting side that there is somebody doing young Clive and older Clive. You do both.
I do.
How hard is that to do? Put on like a younger voice and make it distinct enough.
Um, it's actually not. It's actually not that hard.
Okay.
It is a challenge, of course
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
but it's not so much a challenge of like vocal quality, of more to do with psychological,
Getting
where
into
he
that
is
mindset kind
psychologically,
of thing.
mentally, where it's Clive
Yeah.
at when he's 15 years old, as opposed to when he's 32. What's the difference there? But that was the most important thing to be able to do, is to have what he goes through when he's 15 allowed me to understand where Clive is for the rest of the game. I had the fortune to be able to firsthand act out these scenes where he experiences love, loss, trauma, happiness. And then it meant that when we would go into later scenes where maybe there are callbacks to certain events, I was able to kind of call on what we'd maybe learned through that. It was such a gift to be able to be given that opportunity to almost kind of go, this is Clive. I wasn't copying anyone either. Like they went, what are you bringing to it? So I was able to kind of bring Clive to me as well.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And, we talk about, the tone, Clive as a character, loss, going into that set where you're like, this is one of those tough scenes. How do you mentally prepare yourself when you're walking into a tough scene? And then how do you, to quote our good friend Jane Perry, leave the baggage at the door? How do you get into that hard section, and then how do you get yourself out?
I would turn up, and there are some scenes in this game where I didn't even I just sight read it. I just did it on the spot because I think instinctually that's what was required, and that's the most honest thing. So there's some pretty intense stuff that happens, and what you're hearing is the first take of it, because we went, let's not do that again. Not because we didn't want to make it perfect, but because we just thought that what you're getting is the most honest, raw scene. And then I would just shake it off and then get out. It's done. I've done it. I've done it there. There it is. Clive's had a good cry, and then we just get out. You
just get out. Can't live there. You can read it. You can't live in it.
Yeah, and Koji said this. There are moments when they said, "Oh, we could see that Ben was really in it," and I was really in it. But because you don't want to just keep doing that stuff because it doesn't feel real. It's not honest.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we're just pretending. We're just putting silly hats on and putting silly voices.
Well, you're telling me Final Fantasy XVI ain't real?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
My world is collapsing.
I know. Tell me about it. There's no such things as icons and dominance. That's not real.
Man, what?
But yeah, that I would just do it, leave it, move on.
On that note, as a fan of the series for a long time, were you shocked at how mature this game is and why getting a mature rating? It's the first game in the franchise to get that, and
yep,
is that exciting from a storyteller side of things?
I think so. I kind of. I don't think it has an M rating just because people wanted to say the F word.
Sure.
I don't know if we're allowed to swear on this podcast.
Oh, you can say it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Whatever you like.
No, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it PG.
Okay, yeah.
But like,
keep
because
it classy, I get it.
Yeah, I'm a classy guy. I swear enough on my own time. But yeah, people didn't just want to say the F word half the time. It was because the nature of what the story is required it to be an M rating. And I think what that allows is storytelling freedom. I was taken aback by it when I first read it. I went, "Oh wow, spicy!" But it's just quite freeing because you don't feel you're limited by anything. Again, I just keep talking about this freedom in the creative process and why this part has resonated with me for so long, because I have just felt like I have been allowed to be a part of something that I'm so unbelievably proud of, and surrounded by people who, other actors, other creators, who are just in their element, doing brilliant stuff. Like even when I'm turning up into a session and it's a side quest, I would listen to some of these performances and some of these actors that they bring in, and I'm just blown away by these performances. And I'm jealous I'm not playing that character. I'm just going, oh, can't I do that? And, I would want to sometimes just be like, oh, can I do something fun like this as well? Forgetting that I'm getting to do the most fun thing in the world. Yeah. But it's because this team have brought on like the cream of the crop of British voice talent and British acting talent. These are some incredible people who I've seen on stage, I've seen in films, and I'm just going, you got this person in to do this? I loved them in X, Y, and Z. So the fact that I get to act with these people who I have looked up to professionally has been so crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah. There was actually there was kind of like a party to celebrate rapping, and they invited a load of the actors together to have a little party. And everyone was kind of invited, and there were so many people there, and it was basically the 100-person version of that Spider-Man meme where everyone was pointing at each other, going, "Wait a second, I didn't know you were in this."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
That excites me a whole lot because I'm a narrative game person first and foremost. So to hear that you're excited for some of the side mission characters and the performance they give, I'm going to eat this game up every second. That's very exciting.
Definitely do the side quests. They're so fun. They're so fun.
What excites you most about the story of 16? Because he watching some of the previews this morning, I know you didn't watch a whole lot, but them just even referencing like a Game of Thrones style kind of story, I'm like, ooh, and world, like, yes, that is very exciting.
I am super excited for people to respond to the stuff that they haven't seen.
Yeah. Sweet.
I think we've got so much stuff to digest now. We've got those 5 hours that people are talking about. The stuff that I can't wait for people to experience is 15 hours down the line. It's 25 hours. It's when we are in with these characters, that we understand who everyone is, and they are just playing you like a fiddle with it's so masterfully done, some of this storytelling. They've done such a good job. And there's a reason why Yoshi P has said this is a game about story. Play this story. It's a beautiful story with wonderful characters who I hope, will be up there for Zell with you. Do you know what I mean? Like I do think we're in for something quite cool.
Sweet.
That's awesome. I want to take you on a bit of a side tangent. This one, because it interests me. We've been seeing it blow up over the last few months. And some folks, again, like Jane Perry, name drop yet again, because she's fantastic and amazing. Fellow voice actress who, voiced some concern over this. Like a month ago, I feel like everybody was just like, we're going to take AI photos. And I'm going to be an astronaut. And then all of a sudden, now it's like James Earl Jones signs a contract to Disney to use his voice in perpetuity for Darth Vader. That stuff kind of freaks me out. And I would like to know, because I'm such an outsider looking in, as an actor yourself, how do you feel about AI in your industry? Do you actually find that there is, there could be a benefits here used as a tool, or are you kind of wary for the future of that type of technology?
I'm not an expert on this, and I'm not incredibly well read on it. Yeah. However, I am fortunate to have a lot of friends who are incredibly concerned and are incredibly well informed on this. David Menken, actually, who plays Barnabas in this game, is very much kind of a part of the group of actors who are spearheading the idea of regulating it. AI is not the enemy. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool, but we are in the wild west of its use. Yeah. And I think there is a world in which it can and is harming the lives of some people who have put their voices into recording things. It's the fact that you can put a well-known voice actor's voice into a machine and it can make them say some awful, awful, awful things. Mm-hmm. Those are concerning. That's the worry. And it's certainly in the UK right now, I think, as we record this, there are brilliant actors, brilliant people like Jane, like David, who are really trying to get the word out about how useful, but also how dangerous it can be if placed into the wrong hands.
Yeah. Ooh. You made me feel optimistic and then kind of slightly scared.
I know, yeah. It's all in the storytelling.
I love it. Okay, thank you for your candor on that, because as someone who's outside looking in, like I do PR on the side, and seeing like GPT just do a press release, I'm like, this freaking me out. I paid $50,000 for this degree. Please don't.
Yeah, it's scary. AI art as well. I mean, there are so many things. I think, I'm not going to speak too much on it, but
fair enough. Kyle, let's get us back on track here.
Sure,
I'll take my tinfoil hat off.
Yeah, please do.
There you go.
I got some fun Final Fantasy-esque questions for you, Ben.
Okay.
How broody is Clive? Like on a scale from Titus to Squall, what are we talking about here?
So, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sorry, my ear. There we go. I'd move my ear things. How broody is Clive?
Yeah. Do we get a laugh scene like Titus in FF10, or
there is no laugh scene, which I really like that laugh scene.
I do too.
I love it. I think people misinterpret what that scene is about.
See, Joe is a newbie to Final Fantasy, so he doesn't know that kind of laughing thing, but I'm sure you've seen it in memes of that laugh. But yeah.
How broody is Clive? Clive is we meet Clive at a point in his life where he's gone through a lot of stuff, and where we meet Clive is not where we end up with Clive. That's what I will say. It's all part of a journey. He's not just going to be going whatever for the whole game. Don't worry. He goes on quite a journey.
Great.
A very interesting arc. I like it. I dig it.
If Clive can choose from all the characters from Final Fantasy, who would he choose to be part of his party? I'm sure the people in Clive's party in 16 are fantastic. And I can't wait to meet them. But out of all the Final Fantasies, who are you picking to be part of Clive's party?
So I'll say who I'd want to pick.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Okay, great. So I would probably want to have... I'd want to have Tifa in my party, simply because she got me through the Weiss fight. Just go Tifa.
Fair enough.
I would want to have... I'd want to have Yuna in my party.
Yuna's great.
And then if we're doing a 4-person party, I would say... Oh, it's so tough. Such a good question. Please don't judge me.
No, it's okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to try to send one to you that I think would be a great round.
Subliminal message.
I feel it would be Balthea, simply because from 12.
Yeah.
And my reason being, you've got just for kind of the conversations that they would have, I think would be really, really interesting.
That's a good one.
I think you've got a really great balance of personalities there. And I think that the party banter would be quite good. We probably wouldn't be very good at defeating any high-level enemies. Awfully balanced party. But yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was trying to send to you Vivi. I'm a big Vivi fan.
I take it all back. It would be only Vivi.
Only Vivi. I love it.
It would be a party of all Vivis. In fact, what I want to see is a buddy cops kind of vibe. Yes. It's just Clive and Vivi.
Yes.
Just traveling through Gaia.
Yeah.
Solving crimes, like small crimes.
Petty crimes.
Yeah, there's no magic involved at all. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they've just got kind of like an old faithful chocobo that they travel around in.
Yep.
Every now and again, they stop for a bit of Chocobo Hot and Cold, and then
do they have a Moogle buddy that just joins them too?
Really kind of like chatty Moogle as well.
Yes.
And Clive's a little bit annoyed by him.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Friendly reminder: play Final Fantasy IX, everybody. It's great.
Yeah, play Final Fantasy IX. It's absolutely impeccable. Do you want to talk about Final Fantasy IX? I will.
Please.
I think it's amazing, and I think it is. Even though 8 is my favorite Final Fantasy, I think Final Fantasy IX is such a magical experience, and I think it is probably the most magical Final Fantasy. I think the art style is stunning. It has aged beautifully. I think it has one of the most annoying challenges in all of Final Fantasy. Well, there's multiple annoying ones, which is the jump rope trophy. It was the jump rope.
Oh yeah.
And then the other one is getting Excalibur 2? Yep. Excalibur 1.
I believe it's Excalibur 2.
Yeah. Excalibur 2, where you have to play in like 8 hours, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, love that game.
For a guy who's only played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this is my first like true mainline Final Fantasy that I'm super jazzed about, super excited to dive in. I'm loving the banter between you two. And now I feel kind of alarmed. I will be replaced.
Yeah. No, you won't. Don't worry.
All right, fair enough.
I'll say something really awful towards the end, and they'll be like, no, Ben's not allowed.
Ben, you don't know.
Ben's not allowed back.
You don't know where the line could be.
That's where we should cut the interview. Like, they're saying bye to Ben. It'll just cut him mid-line. And then we're like, okay, that's where he said something bad.
Ben was found dead in his flat 2 days later. Mysterious circumstances.
Vivi and Clive.
Yeah.
They got to solve a crime.
I just now that you've got that in my head now, I can't get out of my head. So if anyone out there is listening, please do some artwork. Clive and Vivi hand in hand.
Let's go.
I want to see it happen.
Let's go. I'm thinking like it's giving me Lethal Weapon vibes.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call it. We'll just call it Lethal Weapon. And they go, is there a copyright claim here? I go, no. This is completely original.
I think they're using it. I got a question for you. If you could pick your own icon, who would you want?
Doom Train.
Yes. Oh,
Doom
Joe
Train.
doesn't know Doom Train.
No, I know, right? You're like, who's Doom Train?
I thought
Joe,
it was going to be the Demon House. Talk me through this.
Welcome to the world of Doom Train. It is a train. It is a train that causes status ailments.
Okay.
That's what it does. And it's so cool. It has a skull on the front, and it is basically made of bone, and it is perfect.
I'm taking a watch to it right now. It's interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, Doom Train. I'm just really trying to make Doom Train happen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just like all the cool, because there's all the cool ones, like all the big scary monsters, and like I'm just a train.
Yeah. That inflicts doom.
Yeah, it inflicts doom. It's great. Yeah, let's bring back Doom Train.
I love it.
It's great. If you Ben could take any Final Fantasy weapon besides Clive's to bring home with you, like how actors bring home props from a set.
Yeah.
What weapon would you bring home?
Yeah, I can't say it. I actually can't say it out. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Tidus's celestial weapon. I think it's like called the Kaladbolg or something.
Okay, I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
My reason being is when I got that weapon. To get that, in order to get the weapons in Final Fantasy X, you have to do some just really hard things. Yeah. One being this chocobo race in the Calm Lands, and you have to basically dodge seagulls. Really fun. Honestly, Joe, it's a great series.
Yes. I believe you. I can't wait. I got the Pixel remaster. Let's go.
You're on a giant bird. You're trying to get balloons, and you're dodging other birds. It's classy. I do love it. I love it. And so you had to do all these really difficult things. And I remember getting Tidus's celestial weapon and thinking that's a nice thing. Also, his original weapon, the one that you see in the artwork with the beautiful kind of like water blade, is so beautiful. I remember seeing that image of Tidus standing in the water. Man, this was next gen Final Fantasy after all the stories that we played, and thinking this is it. This is the next level, because the graphical fidelity, the music, everything. Oh man, what a game.
Oh, I have another question that just popped in my head. What side game, like like Final Fantasy is known for like card games or whatnot.
Yeah.
Would you want its own game just all by itself? And why is it Blitzball? Because that's mine.
Oh, do you know what I was going to say? Exactly that. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and I was thinking, come on, Square Enix, make a Blitzball game.
Yes.
I would play that endlessly. You can either do it as like a championship manager, football manager style, where it's a bit hands off, where you're going around and recruiting players around Spira. Or you could just actually play the game, which was really, really fun. But yeah, Blitzball, I think when I played it back in when it first came out, I think I put about 20 hours into playing Blitzball.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It's pretty deep for something that you can completely not do at all. It's pretty deep.
Yeah, and then when you go around Spira recruiting characters and then training them up. The world's going to end, but we got some Blitzball to play.
And it's all underwater. It's like soccer underwater.
Let's not question how they breathe. Let's not question that. But I'd love to go to it. Like, I'd love to go to a game of this fictional game. Yeah. I'd love to watch a match.
That's awesome. I just think of the Gungans in episode 1, and I'm like, anything underwater? I get a little nervous. Nervous.
It was in that era. Though.
That's beautiful. All right. Last question for you, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's next for you there, bud? Like, what's next in your career? You got, you're Clive in Final Fantasy XVI. What's next in the realm of voice acting for you, bud?
I don't know. And that's the most exciting and terrifying thing about being an actor. I don't know. And I feel so lucky. I'm doing a lot of stuff, fortunately, in the lead up to the release of this game. And also I have to play this game.
It's true.
I don't know. And I love it. I've said this before. If I don't do anything else, I'm fine. I would happily say, yeah, I'm good. I'm out. Cause this is just like the most amazing thing to talk to you guys. The fact that my world has kind of been shifted now, where my passion and my hobby has now kind of become my work. It's just the best. So yeah, I'm going to be publicizing this game and jump on loads of people's streams and engage with the community and go to some cons and I'm just excited. I'm excited for the PlayStation Showcase. I'm excited. I'm just a fan, man.
I got this. My last question for you, Ben. You just popped in my brain. PlayStation Showcase as a recording. We're 3 days away. What's the thing you want to see there? What's your? Let's get crazy.
What's the dream prediction? Ben announcement?
Yeah,
the dream Ben announcement is. So when I listen to a lot of these, prediction episodes, and it's we always predict the known, right?
Yes.
It's the known. What I want is what I don't know yet. It's the one where we just go, oh my God. It's the Shenmue 3 moment. It's the, it's the 7 remake moment. It's the moment where we go, that showcase. It's that I want. I want to be so blown away by the surprise. There are all the rumors about MGS3. I mean, I would pop for that, massively. But it's whatever Sony Bend are making. What are Sony Bend making? I want to see
Sony Bend. What are you guys making?
Yeah, come on,
Sony Bend. Come on.
And if you need someone to voice a character, Ben's available.
Yeah, I'm so unemployed right now.
Ben,
same.
Do a quick American accent.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to. There's
I'll
so
do a
much
British one.
There's so much.
Oh, don't.
There's so much. You can hear me do an American accent on TV. I'm there. Just in case I'm rubbish and Sony Bend listening, they don't want to employ me. Actually, when I got the platinum on Days Gone, like I was one of the people who played it when it first released. So what state I was playing that in.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Yeah. And I sent a DM to Sony Bend. I was drinking a bottle of wine, getting my platinum trophy, and I sent a message going, I really enjoyed this game. I really hope you get to make another one. And Sony Bend have left me on red for years.
Oof.
Boy. Oh boy.
Now I feel like they owe you a VO spot.
Yeah. So if I got a part, I would walk in like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman and go, big mistake, huge.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Ben, thank you so much for coming on, man.
You're so welcome.
Your passion, your enthusiasm for not just, this game that you're so involved with, but just gaming in general, bled on through. So thank you so much for coming on.
Anytime you want to come on, you're welcome.
Let's do it. I mean, the problem is now that you've said this, I'll be like, guys, can I come on this week and talk about
and I'll be like, come on in.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's go talk PlayStation.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Ben,
I'd love to.
How can people reach out to you, good sir? I know you're a Clive, blah blah blah, but like, what's your Twitter handle? Shout yourself out.
So you can find me consistently on socials. I play Clive. It's very annoying. It's _Ben_Starr with 2 R's. And there is actually a famous chef called Ben Starr as well. He was on MasterChef America. So, feel free to follow him. When I was first announced, people were saying, this guy's a chef as well.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst cook. But yeah, go check out. Don't check out me. Check out the chef, Ben Starr from MasterChef America. Do that. Give him a follow instead.
There you go. Ben, thank you so much for dropping by. With that, we'll get back to the show. Ooh, man, I've been sitting on one of my favorite interviews for over a month now.
Same. Ben is just absolutely incredible. And the fact that we got to do that so long ago, it feels like, even though it's only been a few weeks, and then seeing him pop up everywhere else and everyone else gets to experience just the absolute wonderful human being he is. And he's loving it. Like, you can tell he loves video games and he loves Final Fantasy, and the fact that he gets to play the main character in a mainline Final Fantasy game is awesome.
And to see that how well received it is as well, like on top of it, like people are legitimately saying this is one of the best Final Fantasies in a very long time. It's awesome to see. So
enjoy it, Ben.
Flowers deserved, and he said he wants to be on soon.
Come on whenever.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to, I can finally, I will tweet this out once this episode goes live, but Ben said something about him wanting a drawing of Clive and Vivi together.
Yes.
And I instantly hit up a good friend of the show, Jadis Von Metal.
That's right.
And Jadis made an awesome crime, a Law and Order style buddy cop thing of Clive and Vivi with the chocobo walking around. It's beautiful. So I'm going to tweet that out. It's great. Yeah.
You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. That said, Kyle, listen, I could gush about Ben, and we can make this a Ben Starr podcast all we want, and I would be down for it. I would switch the name. But I want to talk a little bit about what we've been playing before we do. And I want to first start with a game.
A game.
Last week I said I'll probably get to 80 hours in Diablo 4. Yeah. Right? Uh-huh. Kyle, guess how many hours I have into Diablo 4?
I guessed 80 last week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. 88.
Now, please understand 2 things. The metric of time on PlayStation, I've been told is off. Maybe.
By like 10, 15 minutes.
I was sick over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
I have 110 hours in Diablo 4.
What the hell?
Kyle, I was so sick on Saturday and Sunday. Please, no one clap. I'm ashamed of this.
Oh, my God. You turned into the South Park PC guy.
Yeah,
That's
on Sunday, I did nothing but Diablo 4.
That's wild.
I am level 73.
Okay.
That said, Brandon English writes in, what's going on? I'm enjoying the podcast, and I've been playing Diablo 4 and loving it very much. I got 3 characters to 55, started off with a barbarian, which was a lot of fun, but I got altitis. I couldn't help myself, and I had to try another class, so I leveled up a necromancer to 50, which was a bit disappointing. After which I decided to level up a rogue, and I got it to 55 as well, and absolutely loved it. Raining arrows around me, knives spinning around me, and all the shadow mincing my every move. I obliterated the butcher in less than a minute. That had it coming. Goddamn right he did. I can't get enough of Diablo 4 right now, and would love to hear both of your stories and experiences. Also, y'all got a clan? I would love to team up with you guys. Yeah, the Trophy Room Clan, baby. That's all it's called. It's called the Trophy Room. I didn't have any like cool hipstery names that I could put into it, but it's the Trophy Room. Come join us.
Well, yeah, Kyle. I'd love for everyone to join us. I only put in a request when I started playing over the few days ago, and Joe hasn't accepted it yet.
Well, I think so. I accepted. I think now you have to accept my acceptance. It's weird
okay.
Like
it's been okay. So it's been a few days. So maybe
it's been a few days. Yeah. So Kyle, you're new to Diablo.
Yeah, first Diablo ever.
What class did you pick, and how are you enjoying it?
I went barbarian. I like to hit things.
Okay.
A gorgeous looking barbarian, by the way.
Really?
She is very pretty.
Oh, a lady. Okay.
How am I liking it? It is weird for me to talk about Diablo.
Yeah.
I can see why everyone loves it, and I do genuinely love it. It's a really good time. It is dopamine. Just obliterating enemies with my two-handed slam attack. I think it's called Hammer of the Agents.
Good for leveling.
Destroying people. But at the end of the day, it's just doing the same thing over and over again.
But doing it faster and with more of them.
I don't know if I love it though. Like I don't know if I love that loop. I love the loot stuff. It's just like I've seen the same dungeon or layout of dungeon multiple times.
What level are you?
32.
Okay.
Something like that.
Finish that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then play a bit of the late game, and then you're gonna unlock it. Because like, the story is not the best.
I'm also only on World Tier 1, so maybe if I bump it up a little bit, make it a little harder.
Put up the World Tier 2. You're not gonna regret. Yeah. Because once you're done with the campaign, it's not the best Diablo campaign. I actually do prefer the last campaign, like story over this. I'm gonna be real. Though I think there's better characters here. I just felt Diablo 3's story, now time has elapsed, I just felt it was paced a bit better.
Okay.
Actually, not even a bit. It was paced better. That being said, though, Diablo is all about the end game stuff. So you get past that story mode, and you'll even say, like, you'll be like on Act 5 and 6, you'll be like, why wasn't the rest of these acts like this? Because, like,
fair.
These are intense. And one of the best cinematics in gaming, just period. So like after you get to that campaign, then you understand, you unlock more abilities, you get to fight more and more dangerous foes, and that's where the dopamine hit gets you. Because the coolest thing about Diablo is seeing what is a unstoppable force meet the immovable object that is you, and just seeing you just decimate everything around you. That's the thing that is.
And I for sure have had really, really cool moments like that. I am doing every single side quest that I find, and some of the side quests are fun.
Yeah.
I forgot the sister's name, the nun who you do, like, you exercise
yes.
people. Yeah. That was a really cool side quest. It's just it pressing the same combo buttons in the same order over and over again, though. It got a little mundane after a little bit, but
trust me,
I'm gonna push through. I'm not gonna stop playing, but
and as a barbarian, you get the whirlwind.
See, I also haven't messed around with many of the skills. I have that. What's the ultimate one where I call down three spirits to help me at the same time, and they just wreck shop? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that one.
You become a spin wheel of death. It's great. Kyle,
sweet.
You've been also playing a game called, what is this? Rogue Legacy 2? Okay. Tell me about it.
Another game that I've been waiting for forever for PlayStation. Has been everywhere else. Sequel to one of my favorite games ever made. And boy, oh boy, is this even better. Nice. Visually, it looks stunning. The new classes are really cool. I just unlocked Chef. And you have a giant frying pan to attack enemies with. But when you attack them, it inflicts burn. So it does like elemental damage, which is very, very fun. The Valkyrie class is awesome. You got a nice little like halberd, like polearm kind of thing that you can use in any direction, which is really, really fun. The different runes and relics that you get have like there's so much strategy into it. Like resolve is a thing in this game where if you take a relic, you lose resolve, which also lowers your health a little bit for every relic you take. So you have to balance how many cool little buffs do you want in and weighing how little health are you okay with going through this massive dungeon kind of thing.
Okay.
And all the charm and humor from the first game are here. Like if you don't know the basis of it, it is a roguelike game.
Yeah.
Where you play as every run.
Right?
Yeah, every run you're a descendant and heir to the person that you just played, and they all have their own individual traits. Like I just played one with the nostalgic trait, where it looks like an old film reel, where it like flickers a little bit, and there's like burn on the edge, and everything's like sepia toned. It's very very cool. Or a clown, where you just have clown makeup on, and you have a little bit of health.
Love it. Yeah.
A fart one, you're just extra gassy and you just fart randomly. It does nothing, but it's just like fun and cute.
Yeah.
It's so deep. It's so much fun. And the fact that this is free for PlayStation Plus Extra, this might be the best extra game they've ever had available.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going to be playing this forever. It's so awesome. Good.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play this when Final Fantasy and Diablo are like well away from me. So hopefully like by August I'm playing this game because I am interested in it because it's a roguelite and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Kyle, listen. Are you holding on to something right now?
I am.
Anything at all? Okay, I got this pen. Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. On the 20th of June, Aliens Dark Descent on PS5, PS4, Crash Team Rumble on PS5, PS4, Roblo on PS5, PS4, Rogue Legacy 2 on PS5, PS4 again on PS Plus Extra, The Last Hero of Nostalgia on PS5, PS4.
Hold on, real quick. Did not know that Last Hero of Nostalgia has come into PlayStation.
Oh yeah? What is this?
This game's pretty cool. It is a satirical Souls game. Where it makes fun of Souls games. And where you play as like a stick figure. And nice. As you beat bosses, the world goes from 8-bit to 16-bit and more fully realized.
Oh, wow.
It was previously on Xbox. I played it on Xbox last year. It is a really, really, really good time. And it's got really fun other video game jokes. Like I had the Master Chief armor. But it wasn't called Master Chief armor. It was called like something Spartan something.
Okay.
And it looked exactly like it. But there's like other nods to other games or whatever. It's really, really cool.
This actually looks pretty darn cool. That's something I might actually check out. The 21st of June, Masteroid on PS5. New Lands 3 Paradise Island on PS4. Post Void on PS5, PS4. Last Hero of Nostalgia again.
It's coming out twice.
VR Skater on PSVR 2. X-Force Genesis on PS4. On the 22nd of June.
Here you go, Joe.
Dr. Fetus Mean Meat Machine on PS5, PS4.
Enjoy.
All right. Hey, listen. Okay. Final Fantasy XVI on PS5. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie on PS5.
Looks great.
Hubris on PSVR 2. The hubris of this bitch. The Bookwalker, Thief of Tales on PS5, PS4.
Really quickly, Joe.
Yes.
Bookwalker was unveiled, I think, at the PC gaming show. Or Future Game Show. Yeah. Trailer looked awesome. The character design, you're like this humanoid with a book for a head, and the pages, book slightly open, and the pages are like its hair. It looked like a really cool, fun, like stealth action game. Gotcha. It's like a point and click adventure game. The biggest letdown from a trailer to actual game I've ever had.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm trying to look at the trailer right now. It just gave me an Avatar trailer real fast. Let me see. Oh yeah, the
character is so dope. And then
wow,
it's like the old animated movie Page Master, where you're hopping into different stories and stealing things and bringing them back to the real world. Not at all what I wanted from that trailer.
Yeah, this looks like the League of Legends guy from the show. Okay, that's cool.
No,
Velitharian Arc Hero School Story 2 on PS5, PS4 on June 23rd. There's no 30. 3rd. Sea Smash VRS on PSVR 2. Stratford Usurper on PS5, PS4, and Sonic Origins Plus on PS5 and PS4. Go check those GARMs out. Now, Kyle, it's time for our favorite and the last segment of the show. It's time for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! Hey, Kyle, would you like to read this one at a time and you start first? Because I've been talking a lot.
Absolutely. Sure. Thank you. Ace Insane writes in, hey guys, question for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! Yeah. This past week I played What Remains of Edith Finch, a game I didn't know much about but had only heard good things for since it came out in 2017. While I initially only played this because it was short and an easy platinum, I quickly found out that I was not emotionally prepared for its story. My question is, what games stick out in your mind that you went into knowing very little or even nothing about, but ended up being an experience that stuck with you? Edith Finch is a game I still need to play, and the reason why I haven't played it yet is because of how emotionally damaging it is.
I played it. I got bored because I have sociopathic
it's not your
tendencies. I feel nothing at things that are trying to make me sad. I think for me, I usually do a lot of like research into
you vet your games before
I vet it. I'm like, if I'm buying it, even if I'm like going on Gamepass or something, like I'm still wasting my time on this thing. I want to make sure my time's wasted on something fun. I would say the only game that I didn't do that with, 2 games in particular, Hades. I knew of Hades. I saw Hades. I was like, yeah, this looks cool. I've heard nothing but great things, but I didn't dive deep into it. And Metroid Dread. And both of those games are phenomenal. So, those would be 2 of mine. What about
you? Mine is somewhat similar to Ace Insane's, where it was a game that looked cool, looked fun, was not expecting it to have such heartfelt story and made me learn about how to deal with my anxieties and stuff. That's Celeste. One of my favorite games ever. And the fact that halfway through up the mountain, you learn about her
things and stuff,
mental illnesses and what she's going through and just how hard it hit while I was playing. It's like this hard platformer did not know I was going to cry while playing this game. Celeste is that for me, big time.
That said, the Muffin Mon writes in, hey guys, recently started the Callisto Protocol. We'll be finishing it before Final Fantasy XVI comes out. Come on, Kevin, calm down. And this game rocks for the life of me.
Does he sleep?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
I mean, Sean Capri always makes fun of him, says he doesn't have a jab. Maybe he does. I don't know. For the life of me, I can't understand the poor reviews. What is a game that you love that the critics don't? Oh my God, such a good one.
It is a good one. And
it's hard for me because I feel like I'm usually in sync a lot with like reviews and stuff. I liked Callisto more than I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But that would be me taking the easy route by saying I liked it. You know what? I'm going to get a little shit for this because I know it's an Xbox game, right? I liked Fable 3. I think the end is bad. Don't get me wrong. The end is like we ran out of budget. But I actually think Fable 3 was a really fun time. So I would say a game that people panned, but I still liked. I think Fable 3 is one of those for me. And same with like Fable 2. All the Fable. I just love Fable. So, yeah, all of it for me.
Fair.
What about you?
It's tough.
All right.
I have an easy one that I could go to that I mentioned before, but I'm trying to look at my wall and see if there's any that are like.
Yeah, let me do the same too.
But like the easy one is maybe critically it did well. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate on it, and that's Final Fantasy VIII. I adore 8. It is one of my favorites. Much like our guest Ben Starr was talking about. I love those characters. I love that story so much. People love to hate on it, but critically, I don't know if that matches your question, Kevin. No, oh no, that was 7. What did 8 do? Oh, I only put in 7 in the Google search. Come on, God.
Fuji writes, "Hello, team." Hello, Fuji.
Hello.
Hope you're both doing well. So I played Final Fantasy XVI demo on story focus mode, of course, and was wowed by the story and the overall visuals of the game. Now, I've never played a Final Fantasy game in my life, so I'm finally going into this with no prior knowledge of the past games. What I like to know is, after I play 16, which Final Fantasy game do you think I should check out next? Kyle, this one's just for you.
Yeah, so Fuji, my question to you is, if you dig the medieval fantasy setting that 16 is going for, I highly suggest a 9. Final Fantasy 9 is that kind of whimsical fantasy thing. Even though 16, from what I know, is not as whimsical, it seems pretty dark. I would go 9 if you just want a more modern thing. FF7 Remake is a great beginning spot. Old school 7 as well is everywhere if you want a more turn-based thing and want to know why Final Fantasy is beloved by so many. And like the Pixel remasters are out too, and I haven't gone through all of them, but like Final Fantasy VI is great. If you like a really fun swap in and out character kind of battle thing, turn-based style, FF7 or FF10 is great.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a Final Fantasy game unless it's my least personal favorite, 15.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Kyle, take away the next question for me.
MKen10 writes in, "Hey guys, I've actually got a non-video game question here. So probably one for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
I see that there are some really cool new features rolling out with iOS 17 that are geared towards podcasting. Features like a refreshed Now Playing experience, unique artwork for every individual episode, and even Apple Podcasts being pushed through TikTok. I was wondering if you knew about or saw these updates. You always have sleek artwork for your YouTube thumbnails, so it sounds like this could now be pushed to Apple Podcasts as well. Do you think you would take advantage of new audiences on TikTok? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on these new branding ideas and whether or not it's something you think could help with the future of your podcasting."
Ooh, great question. This is for me, right?
Yeah, this is I know nothing about this, so yeah.
I didn't know all of these things, but it seems like a lot of it is Apple catching up to Spotify, because Spotify, you've been able to do this for a minute. When it comes to like different artwork for the show, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while now. So we don't go through the Spotify version of how to do that. So the one scary thing is, like, theoretically, to make it work, we would maybe have to switch our provider, which means switch the feed, which means Joe is going to have to spend a good couple of days thinking if he just messed up a feed that has 500,000 downloads on it. And
300 plus episodes that are just now inaccessible for everybody.
For everyone. So like, did 4 years of work just go down the drain? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Who knows?
It could be. Is a fancy thumbnail worth it? I don't know. Yeah. But honestly, I think it helps like with themes thematically. Apple Podcasts being pushed through things like TikTok's only smart because, surprisingly enough, short form is actually really good for podcasts, especially if they're like a comedy podcast out there. I see a lot of them push TikTok or like YouTube shorts. So honestly, this is a topic I could go for 30 minutes on. But that's we'll definitely be looking at all that stuff for sure.
We definitely want to hit as many people as possible. So if it makes it easier, sure.
Yeah. And now there's like so many ways of making video vertical. So this is definitely something I'm going to be looking into for sure.
Nice.
All right, Kyle, let's bring it back to games. I nerded out here. Now I'm very excited.
Ghettoberry13 writes, Dear illustrious fine gentlemen, slow news week, so you're in desperate need of questions. Summer is here. It's constantly bright and hot outside. It's just not for me. Same. So what type of games are best played during this warm season? Do you recommend short and breezy games, or is it maybe just one big game to last the summer long? That my one summer love kind of vibe. Also, how do you guys stay cool? Love one hot and bothered gamer.
I got this beautiful AC unit right next to me.
Oh, it must be nice.
That's right. It's nice. It's here. It gets way too cold sometimes, but summer is reserved usually for the backlog. So whatever I don't have right now currently, so like Nier is probably one of those games.
Yeah. Nier's going to be our July Road to Greatness episode.
That's right.
So start accordingly.
That's right.
High school me during summertime met long JRPG.
Fair.
A nice long one. Now, give me a short platformer where I can play for a little bit, or at night where I don't want to worry about min-maxing equipment and skills, whatever. Let me just, do some cool platforming sections and beat some bosses.
Okay.
In between me going outside into my above ground pool, which is how I stay cool. And the air conditioner only in my bedroom. So when I go to bed at night, I open the door and it's
beautiful.
Blast of cold air. It's great. That's how I stay cool. But I'm with you. It's too hot out here.
It's too hot. It's already. Come on. First day of summer. Don't like it. Cloud Strife writes in, what's up, Kyle and Joe? Hoping all is well. I listen to these podcasts every week, and you guys literally make my weeks and laugh. My question is, what is the one video game in which you cannot live without? You can always replay over and over again, and what you believe should be in every PlayStation collection. Thank you, guys. Keep killing it. Bloodborne.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Bloodborne's good.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Bloodborne.
So I'm gonna go against the easy choices.
Okay.
I'm not going to PlayStation first party game.
Oh, okay.
I'm going a game that I can't live without, and I've replayed from beginning to end at least 7 or 8 times. It's Borderlands 2.
Oh, wow.
I love that game so much. I go back and replay it all the time.
Okay.
It's great. So that would be mine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mine would be, again, Bloodborne. Easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy. But honest to God, Elden Ring was a year ago. And every time I think about it, I get urged to play it. Look, Kyle, I'm not kidding. Millennia? Blade of Mikola?
Who's never known defeat?
Never known defeat is my wallpaper. Like, that game, I think, is my, stranded on a desert island game for sure.
I did get the itch watching the Games Done Quick speed run of Elden Ring.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, maybe I'll start a new character. Maybe I'll go through it again.
It's real good.
Too many games though.
We got 2 questions, but I'm gonna save that for this week's after show because I actually just got a bit of a text and I gotta actually head on out here right now.
Oh,
that's
no.
right.
Okay.
That's right. Well, yeah.
Everything good?
Yeah. My father, he took a fall.
Oh,
he took a fall. Now he needs to be helped inside. So.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Gotta be a good son. Well, I should just shove him in there. You ruined a moment. Where's my inheritance? So I promise I'll be a good son. I'll be a good son. So that said, Kyle, is there anything you'd like to highlight before we get on out of here?
Yeah, you can follow me everywhere at Mr. KSEP. Go follow 61 Indie for all your latest in indie games. And go follow Ben Starr on all socials. Delightful human being. And go play Final Fantasy 16.
Go.
Yeah.
It's been endorsed.
What are you doing? Go get it.
Come on. I mean, probably I'll be listening to the show as I drive to Best Buy and pick it up.
Oh. It always baffles me that you listen to a show that we recorded.
Just to take notes, baby.
I can't do it.
I know. I hear my voice so much at this point.
Exactly.
It's like, it's just second nature. I know I just sound like a big dumb idiot, and I move on.
You're not. Stop it.
I have this weird superpower of disassociating.
Joe, your dad is waiting for you.
Oh, right. Gotcha. You can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can find the show over at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. You can find the Trophy Room wherever you find a podcast service of choice, whether that is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Play. And you can catch the video version live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube at PS Trophy Room as well. So, with all that said, and with all that out of the way, everybody keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Bye. Love you.